Welcome back. Well, if you made it this far, congratulations. Quite honestly, a lot of people don't make it this far. They get in the business, they want to be successful, but they're not willing to listen. So congratulations. But here's what I suggest to you. Turn your car into a drive time university. Listen to these over and over and over. Throughout my years, every person who had listened for about 5 times had success. What I mean by that, it's really interesting. You heard me talk about that. You go through learned knowledge, then you go through activity knowledge. So what happens as you listen to these tapes and the other trainings we have, you learn the things that make this business work. But then you have to apply them. You go out there and do them. That's called activity knowledge. You do the activities, and then you come back to the learned knowledge, the exact same learned knowledge, but it will be different to you because of the experiences you had out there doing the activity. So my suggestion to you, whatever your frequency is, how fast you want to go, try and listen to this set, on some regular frequency, because you'll be amazed what happens to you as you go back and forth from learned knowledge, activity knowledge, to learned knowledge, activity knowledge. The other great thing for me, I'd be out there sponsoring people. I'm looking for the people who are willing to listen to the tapes. If they're not willing to listen to the tapes, then they're really not going to do what the other things necessary to be successful. So it really helped me filter out who's in and who's out. You can't make this happen for other people. You can deliver the things like this to them, but they got to put their own effort into it. And so what I've always found is when somebody doesn't do what's necessary to be successful, like read the manuals, that type of thing, then something's happening. The only thing I ever asked, I never got mad. That wasn't what I was doing. I just asked them, why? Why are you not doing that? Because what's happening, they've lost their belief in what we're doing, and can't imagine that with what we're doing, how amazing it is. But you maybe have to fix something there. Or they lost their belief in themselves, and that's usually it, because the friends, family, neighbors get them. But again, I can't imagine that with this. This is different than anything else I've ever seen in this industry. I think it's going to change all that. Or they've lost some belief in maybe you. And again, we all going to have that happen here and there, but quite honestly, we can all build those relationships and fix that. And so what I want to do is very quickly talk about the 10 core commitments. I kind of bounced around with them during that talk, and excuse me for that. But I was just trying to get you to get a concept of the 10 core commitments. And the 10 core commitments, they're based upon really a simple philosophy, and that is doing the little things over and over and over. When I wrote the book, The Slight Edge, which is in your launch kit system, when you read that book really is, as I said there, has gone on just be huge in the industry, because what it does, it reaffirms or gets people to understand it's the little things that people do consistently over a long period of time that matter. And so what you'll find is successful people do the little things over and over and over and over and over with consistency and persistency, with a good attitude over a long period of time. And so every one of the things in the 10 core commitment, every one of these things you can do. They're easy to do. My definition of easy is something you can do. Now, the problem is they're easy not to do. And when you don't do them, it doesn't really hurt your business. But the people who are consistent with them over time, those are the ones who have success. So that's kind of like the sucker bet in this business. You don't do these things, you don't fail, okay? If you do them, you don't succeed. But it's so subtle, but if you do them consistently over a long period of time, you do. So the first one, get started right. Makes sense, okay? When somebody gets involved, the most important thing is to review the success system. Go through the launch kit. That's your learned knowledge. Go to the trainings, get acclimated. And for me, anytime I sponsor somebody, I wanted to sit down with somebody, whether it was locally, because that's where they were at, or long distance on the phone, and I want to sit down with them and go through it. I called that my game plan interview. And I just wanted to get to know, who they are and what they wanted out of the business, because it's different for everybody. And everybody is different for what they want in this business. I just wanted to find out what they wanted and when they wanted to achieve it by. If, for example, what they're looking for is an extra $1,000 a month in their family, well, how long would you be willing to work to make that happen? A month, 2 months, 3 months? How many hours a week would you be willing to give me? 5, 10, 15? What are those numbers, okay? I wanted to kind of put that together and then plan around what we do. But the main thing I want to do is just get to know who they are, get them to understand, acclimate them to all the things that we do in this business. So getting somebody started right is to me, is one of the most important things. I've always said, slow down and smell the roses. What I meant by that is it's not about recruit somebody, then go recruit somebody else. It's about get somebody involved and help them get started. And to me, my whole goal for anybody was get them out to the first 10 people. If I could do that, I knew I could get them across the line. See, what I'd like to do is help do the exposures to the first 10 people that they want to go after. I want to do that with them because number one, I know they'll be more successful. Number two, they'll learn by watching me. That's modeling knowledge, okay? But number three, if I leave it to them to do it by themselves, you never know what's going to get in the way. Their own fears, life, the other things going on in their life, and so they might not get going. But if I took it upon myself to do it with them, it changed the whole dynamics of the relationship. And see, until they make the decision to expose those first 10 and do that, they're still analyzing to a certain degree, and they're kind of listening to everybody. But as soon as they do that, they realize, hey, I have just now sent these DVDs or put these people on a call or where it might be. I better start learning the business because I'm about ready to have to start interacting with the people I know. So it stopped them from the analytical side to the engaging and learning side. Very simple. And so for me, it was to build a relationship where they trusted me enough that I could work with them to help them expose their first 10 people to the product or to the opportunity locally, in a home party or long distance, conference calls, weekly meetings, whatever it might be. I wanted to be there to help them make that happen. And through that process, I could probably get them learning how to do this business. And so first thing, get them started right. Get them acclimated. Don't let them learn it on their own. They're new. There are other stresses in life. They got other things going on. Be there with them. 2 by 2 is how this business works. Number 2 is the 2-a-day system. Came up with this a long time ago. I sat there, what can the average person do with all the other things going on in their life? They most certainly can expose either the product or opportunity twice a day, whether it's through the product or through the DVD or a brochure, whatever it might be, 2 a day. Now, that's something anybody can do. That's a little bit. But think about how that works when it compounds. You do your 2 a day every day, and they just say you do them 5 days a week. That's 10 a week. That's 30, 40 a month. But then you get other people to do that because you're doing it. All of a sudden, it turns into hundreds of people a month because of you and your organization. But again, it begins with you. So 2 a day, just get out there and expose an opportunity, 2 a day, or the opportunity or the product twice a day. And the main thing here is to do that using third-party tools. You heard me talk about that a lot, but I believe in that I can get anybody to go out there and be the messenger, not the message. So using third-party tools. A third-party tool can be the product. It can be a DVD, it can be a CD, it can be a conference call, it can be a 3-way call where you and your upline get on a call and talk to somebody. It can be the website, phenomenal website. It can be looking at the pictures. It's just anything third party that gets them interested. The best thing I like is getting out there in front of people with a third-party tool, 2 a day. Anybody can do that regardless of circumstances, what's going on in their life, okay? So 2 a day using third-party tools. The next one is events. We build our business through events. We build to events, we attend events, and we get people to come to events with us. The most important part of events are the home parties that we have and the weekly meetings that we have. Those all lead to the monthly big events. Those all lead to the national opportunities. Now, we're a brand new company now, so there might not be events in your area right now. So you'll have to get them started. What a great opportunity. Years down the road, we're going to have them everywhere. This is a great opportunity for you to claim your real estate and get an event started. And that just takes a little bit more special activity, effort. But start with your 2 a day, just the exposures, and then the home party, bringing people to your house or to your apartment complex or to wherever it might be, and then work with the organization doing the same thing, going to their home and have home parties. And we have all the information you need on how to do home parties. Just all I can say is relax. This is a great way for you to expose the business. Just have fun. The product will do the work for you. What we have here is so real, everybody. When people see it, this is not like what I've seen in other companies in this industry, where it's a struggle sometimes to get people to understand the product or why the product or understand the opportunity or why the opportunity. When you look at this as a brand partner with a biotechnology company with something as real as this and the real results like this, it pretty much doesn't get any easier. But again, none of that matters if you're not willing to go out and do the things necessary, like the 2 exposures a day, like the home parties, like the local meetings, the weekly meetings where we bring people together. And again, the weekly meetings, that's where everything happens. You're out there doing the 2 exposures a day, you're out there doing the home parties, and all that's to drive the people to the weekly meeting. As the weekly meeting grows, so does the business grow, okay? But the great thing about the home parties and the 2 exposures a day, that doesn't limit you to just the weekly meetings to build your business. You can do the exposures every day. You can do home parties as many times as you want. Maybe yours once a week and then work with people in your organization and do a couple more a week, okay? And then that duplicates itself, and all of a sudden, there's 5 or 6 of them happening in your organization in a week. That duplicates a little bit, and you have 10, 15 of them going on in your organization in a week. And that duplicates, all of a sudden you could have 100 home parties going on in your organization in a week. Can you imagine that? But it all starts with you doing your first one, your second one, your third one, because you got to learn how to do it. And your first one will be your worst one, okay? And by the time you get your fifth one, you're going to be good at it. You'll have it all down. And that's the hard thing about this business. All the things we do in this business, when we first do them is when we're the worst at it. Your first 2-day exposures, that's going to be the worst you ever do. Okay, but after you've done that 10 days, 15 days in a row, you're going to be pretty good at it. Once you get good at it, guess what? You can teach people, and you can take them through the same learning curve on doing it 2 exposures a day. Same thing with home parties. You got to go through your process. You remember I said in the talk, you got to, anytime you do anything, you're your highest level of anxiety doing it and your lowest level of knowledge. And what you want to do is increase your knowledge through learning how to do it, learn knowledge, and the activity of doing it. And if you do the 2 a day long enough, learning it and doing it, or you do the home parties long enough, learning it, doing it, until you get good at it, then you become worthy of being modeled. Once you become worthy of being modeled, you can teach people how to do the 2 exposures a day, how to do the home parties, how the weekly meetings work. But you can't just get there from learn knowledge to modeling knowledge. You have to do the activity. And that's why I talk so much about like the funeral story, our fear and those type of things, because it's natural for all of us. Those are the things that have been holding us back our entire life. You got to break through those. But with something as special as this, it's just to me, and I've been down the road a lot in this industry, but to me, this really gives a person something that's so dynamic that I think getting through some of those barriers that maybe holds people back in other companies will not happen here, okay? But we build through events, and on top of that, there's going to be conference calls that your organization's going to do. There's going to be national opportunity calls that your organization does, or that we do. There'll be webinars that we do to help you expose people. There'll be webinars that your organization does. What you'll see at first is the company's going to do a lot of this, but eventually the field leadership will start taking it on more and more themselves, and it'll move away from the company, okay? But you need to plug in and build those events. The next thing is fast start qualified. That kind of gets back to getting started right. When I get somebody in, I want to get them started right. My goal is to find out when do they want to fast start qualify. I really want to get that done in the next 30 days. So what are you willing to work with me? I'll put in the same effort and more than you put in to help you get fast start qualified in the first 30 days, because that does so many great things for them. And so I want to work with them. And I've always said to people, I won't decide how hard I work with you, you will, because I will mirror match whatever you do and some more, okay? But the main thing you bring is that you've been down the road. You've done the learn knowledge, the activity knowledge, the learn knowledge, activity knowledge, so you're able to help them. Brand new person is just beginning that process. So again, they have 30 days to get started. I don't want them to get stuck in learn knowledge. I don't want to get stuck in activity knowledge. I want to get going, so I want to do it with them, okay? Now, not all the time is your sponsor around. Sometimes they might be long distance, so you have to do it by phone. Me personally, I never had an upline help me. I was always by myself, and it made it harder, but guess what? It made it more real for me. I eventually learned the business better because I just had to go figure it out myself. So sometimes that's going to happen, and that's okay, because it's not your upline. I'm not going to ever let my upline determine whether I'm successful or not. I'm going to lean on them, I'm going to use them, but in no way are they going to be the ones that determine whether I'm successful or not. Either my downline, either. It's going to be me. I'm going to make it happen, okay? But fast start qualified, that is a magical thing in this business. You take an organization that totally focuses on getting people started right, the 2 exposures a day, using events, and get their people fast start qualified, versus an organization that just kind of lets it happen, don't sit down with their people, do the exposures when you want to, show up at the events when you want to, fast start qualified if you feel like it. The difference was just huge between those 2 organizations. One of them is just doing these little things, getting started right, 2 exposures a day, building through events, fast start qualified. Those things are easy to do. Again, definition of easy is something you can do. They're easy not to do. So a lot of people just exercise this simple error in judgment not to do them. And it really doesn't hurt you in that moment, in that day. But that simple error in judgment over time is devastating versus the people who exercise the simple disciplines over time. They always are doing the getting started right with their people. They always do the game plan review. They're always in a 2-day exposure themselves or with their organization. They're always building through events themselves or with their organization. And they fast start qualifying just part of who they are in this business. And they really focus on that first 10 days with somebody. And they get those first 10 exposures. Again, to me, those first 10 exposures were everything. If I could do those with them, I could get them over the line. I could get them from thinking about it to doing it. I could take them through the first steps of learn knowledge and activity knowledge, and I get them along the road. And most importantly, I could get them down the road fast start qualified. I might even get them fast start qualified in that. Okay, the next one is attend all trainings. People, trainings is the secret weapon. And when I was in the field, that's what I spent most of my time on, is training. I want people to really understand the business. I really believe in ongoing training. And so as your market evolves, at first you're going to be working with your people one-on-one, but as your market evolves and the meetings evolve, then I think it's imperative that you have regularly scheduled trainings in your marketplace. You heard me talk about that in the talk. I would rather bring the new people together into a controlled environment where I can be the best I can be to them and give them everything in a controlled environment versus chasing a bunch of new people around to train them. Because the other thing, remember, you don't want your new people to be trained by the person who just got in themselves. That doesn't make sense. I mean, I call that dumb training dumber. I didn't mean they were dumb. I was just trying to get a point across. I want them to come to me and allow us to train. So, use the training meetings. And the training meetings, the more frequent they can be, the better. Okay? The more often they are, the better. I know that's a commitment, but that's the easy way to do this business. I mean, this is a business. You're already going to give up some time. There is a price to pay. We talked about that. But, the 2-day exposure, building through the events, building through trainings, that is the most efficient way. So what I was always trying to do is put together a system between what they do every day and the meetings and trainings. It maybe took about 15 hours a week out of their life. See, I know if somebody was serious, they could find 15 hours. For me, when I first got in the industry, I gave up softball. It was that simple. When I gave up softball, because I was playing in a very serious softball league and we did it all the time, when I gave that up, I easily had 15 hours. And I went from something that was neat, I enjoyed it, but I gave that up to build me a life, an incredible life that softball would have never taken me to, okay? That was a simple decision, but you're going to have to make that kind of commitment. And training is everything. What you're going to see is you're going to have trainings where you just do it one-on-one with people. Like I say, the first 10. They're going to have webinars that we do and your organization do. There's going to be leadership calls that the company does and your organization does. But it's that live training when you get together locally and you come together as different organizations and you train each other's people and that synergy kicks in and the two minds creates a third more powerful mind. That's when the magic happens, okay? So attend all trainings, believe me. And just because you know it doesn't mean you don't go back to it, because believe me, when you go back to it, it's always different. I've never been to a training that was not different than the training before, even though it was the same, because I was different. The other reason I was there to support the new people. See, it's not just about me, what I know, it's about me and what I help other people know. The meetings, the opportunities, it's not just about me, but it's about me helping other people in the meetings. And so it's always don't make it just about you. This is a business about making it about other people, okay? So you're always there. What I was always looking for, like I said, I want that 1-year commitment from people to be there, doing the 2 exposures a day, building through events, and be at the trainings all the time. I always say, I'm going to be there. Are you going to be there? I'm looking for the people who will do that, okay? If people don't do that, that's okay. It's okay to just sporadically do the business, but you're going to get sporadic returns. But I'm looking for those people who are serious. Now, it doesn't mean I don't work with everybody else. I always work with everybody. I'm not here to judge anybody, but you kind of tell me what I'm going to do with you. If you're willing to do that, I'm willing to do that. But see, you can't expect your people to do that if you're not willing to do that, okay? The speed of the pack is the speed of the leader. You've heard that. Okay, the next one is attend all regional events. Well, obviously, there's no regional events right now. Those will start happening as the 2-day exposures happen, as the home parties start to grow, as the home meetings start to grow, as the trainings start to happen in local markets. Eventually, you'll see in your market, it will grow, and there'll be multiple meetings going on out there. And so now it's time to come together in what you might call a regional event, in an area where within a 200 mile circle, people come together for an event. And those are so fun. They usually happen on a Saturday, and you make it a big event, and you come together, and you'll be hearing more and more about that from us. It's nothing for you to worry about now, but this is where you start taking your business to the next level. And it really allows you now, as you build your organization, as your people in your local market extend across the country, it's a great way for you to go out and support them. For example, let's just say you were in Dallas, and you're building your business, okay? But all of a sudden, the people in Chicago got going so well, they have a regional event, and it's on a Saturday. You go in there with your organization because you have people in your organization who have sponsored people there, or you sponsored people in Chicago, and you go in there to kind of anchor them, support them. So regional events are a great way for you to start really leveraging the power of this industry. See, I don't want just a local business. I want a regional business, but I want to leverage all the other local and regional businesses so I can have a national business. And then again, this is continue as we go global. Remember, we started day one with a global vice president who's been down the road in 30 countries doing this. So we're going there as fast as we can because guess what? Everybody around the world, they have skin. They're going to want this. As long as vanity exists, our business is going to exist, okay? And we got some great things coming. So, leverage these regional events because they're going to allow you to learn how to build your business, not only locally, but regionally, but then expand nationally using regional events and then expand globally as we do the exact same thing in other countries. Top of that, corporate events. You'll see us putting together corporate events for you. First, we're having the 90-day challenge corporate event. We're having the people as they get to a certain position by the end of the year. A big event we're going to have in Cancun, but you're going to see a lot of these. But what'll start happening is we'll have national events where you'll come into whatever market, probably Dallas at first, where we'll have a national event. So everybody comes in at one time, and that's where we launch. First of all, that's where you'll get to meet the people like Dr. Newman and Dennis Knoke and the people at Nerium Biotechnology and the people at STNT and Michael Scott. And that's where you get to see the new products that are coming out to the marketplace and the new things we're doing. Every company evolves from event to event, and your organization will evolve from conference to conference. And so when we announce our first national conference, plan on being there. They're fun. And that's where you get to meet all the other people around the country doing the exact same thing you're doing. And it's the most amazing thing. That's when synergy really kicks in. That's when 1 + 1 is way more than 2. It's 5. And that's when 2 and more minds become so much greater than a third mind. It's all the beautiful things happen. And for me, those have always been to me like a vacation. I look forward to them all the time. I can promise you this, ask anybody that knows me in this industry, we throw great ones. We throw fun ones, large ones, exciting ones, okay? It'll be the funnest weekend you ever spend. The next one is a huge one. Practice daily self-improvement. You heard me talk about it, but personal development is the bedrock. It's the foundation of this industry because we are in the people business and we're teaching people to do the messenger, not the message, delivering the tools. But they got to become a person that people are attracted to. And there's just something about a person as they become a more inspired person. And that happens through knowledge. Like I said, knowledge is it's what drives your philosophy. Your philosophy is what you know, how you hold it, how it affects what you do. If you read good books and listen to good tapes and associate with great people, you'll form great philosophies. Those philosophies will in turn create great attitudes, and in turn, those attitudes will now start making the actions of, say, the getting started right, or the 2 exposures a day, or building through the events and the home parties, weekly meetings, or getting people fast start qualified, or attending the trainings or regionals or corporate events. It starts making those actions work. And what you'll see, all the great companies in this industry have a foundation of a solid personal development. What you're going to see from us is absolutely over-the-top commitment to it. And that's ask anybody again about me in this industry, that is my passion. I mean, started a personal development company in this industry, the biggest personal development company in the country at one time, 937 TV shows around family, finance, health, relationships. I think it's the greatest thing. I really think this industry is the incubator for personal development. And because we have a company that's so special, based upon such real things, real science, real results, and because we have such a commitment to build a real opportunity that will stand the test of time, have the longevity, so that we can lay in the personal development and make the incubator that creates the environment associations that takes that information and makes it work for you. See, in personal development, you have the exact same thing. You have learned knowledge. That's the books and the tapes, and that type of thing. But then you have the environment associations. That's the people like us who come together and get to know each other. That's what's beautiful about this direct sales industry. It is the environment associations of personal development. That's why personal development works so well in this industry, and it will drive your business through the ceiling. Trust me on that one. The next one is find a workout partner. What does that mean? I mean, your sponsor it could be somebody else in your upline that you connect to. It could be somebody that's not even your organization. It can be somebody that's downline your organization. It's just somebody that you can work with. Quite honestly, you can have multiple workout partners. Quite honestly, everybody in the weekly meeting or at the home parties is your workout partner. And because you can get different levels of energy from different people. Again, I'll get back to what I've always said, that 2 minds creates a third more powerful mind, synergy. There's something about having other people in your life that takes you to a place that you can't go to by yourself. It's amazing. I can be in a conversation. I'll go to some place in a conversation I would never go to by myself. Same thing in my activities. I'll be with people doing an activity, and I'll go to some place in that activity I could never go to by myself. So, connect to the group. We're all like-minded people. We're all people who are dreaming. We're all people who want to make a difference. We're all people trying to reach out and, make this happen for us. And it's going to happen so well in Nerium International. I mean, what we have here is so special. But we have such a commitment to making a difference by giving back to the biotechnology company, by giving through the personal development. I mean, there's going to be so many neat people. You're going to find as you you build this business and we go regionally, nationally, and then globally, you're going to have friends all over in this business. And this company's going to be around. It's going to stand the test of time to allow those friendships to endure and to grow and to become some of the greatest friendships in your life. So the workout partners are just going to happen naturally, but it's something you need to think about all the time. You need to really connect with people and work with people. And the last one, it's a simple one, but be here a year from now. Why do I say that? Because it takes that kind of time to learn how to do the business. And treat this like a business. It takes years to learn how to do most businesses. It takes years to build a franchise. No difference in here. Just like in the book Outliers, say it takes 10,000 hours. I don't think it's going to be that way in this company. I actually think people are going to have success a lot easier because the product is just going to sell. Because the product sells, people just want to do the business. And we are in the perfect industry, direct sales. We're in the perfect space in dermal, and we're just couldn't be a better position. Nobody else has what we have. Being a brand partner with a biotechnology company. But again, you got to make it happen. You got to do the activity. Can you just for the next year engage in this as if you were starting your own business or just bought a franchise? I guarantee you, if you focus on this for the next year, the same way you would focus on climbing a corporate ladder or starting a new business or starting a franchise, and you put in the same energy and efforts here, maybe not the same amount of time, but the same energy and efforts here, okay? I guarantee you the results, in my opinion, would be far greater. And I guarantee you the person you become along the way would be just miraculous. And you just, think about it. Just dream a little bit. That's why you look for your whys. What is it you want from Nerium International? Because it's unlimited what you can get. My dream is to build a real company. It's obvious. And you can't build a real company if you don't have something that's legitimate. We have real science. We are partners with a biotechnology company that's a significant one. It's not just some biotechnology company. This is a significant one, working with some of the most staid, upper-end medical people out there, and we're a partner with them, leveraging their science. And we got the exclusive relationship with them to market all of their dermal applications. And there's other products beyond that. I'm not even going into those, beyond the dermal applications that we have the rights to marketing going forward. We have that, okay? We're going to have real results. These people don't just throw a product out and throw a story out there about some herb or something that's connected to it or some bean or something like that. This is something that's real. We have legitimate, real scientific results, third-party results that establish we have real science. Because of that, there is a real opportunity here. Because of that, we can build a company of real people, create a huge life, a real life. And guess what? Do this with us and go global. Can you imagine? Look down the road and we're having corporate events in Europe, and we're then having them down in South America, or we're having them in the Far East or in Australia. See, I see that as happening. I've been there, I've been through that, but I've never been down the journey with something that is as big as this, as strong as this, and is real with this. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for something that is so legitimate. We're looking for the real people who want to make a real difference. You can make that happen here. So I'd like to just kind of wrap it up in this. I don't know most of you. I look forward to getting to know you. Here's what I can't tell you. Without knowing you, without knowing your background, your circumstance, or whatever, I know a lot of people I've worked with who've obtained huge success and become incredible people because of the things I'm talking about today. These basic, simple things that you can do. Go for the information. And as this company grows, the leadership is going to show up, and how we're going to build this company on a solid foundation of real information like this and real fundamental systems that work. I can guarantee you, if you'll plug in, this will work for you. And here's my commitment from me to you. I'll keep this company real. I'll keep it real on the science. I'll keep it real on the results. I'll keep it real on the opportunity. I'll keep it real on the people. And I'll keep it real in the life. I guarantee that. If you'll make your commitment back to me to be real, we can do something that's absolutely special in this industry. In my opinion, something that's never been seen. So with that, I'm going to give it back to you. It's now your opportunity to do something with it, and I really do look forward to getting to know you and seeing you down the road. Thank you.